it's hard to tell anybody when you go get on the four-wheeler the area you're really going, because you can get so far off and stuff. But she knows I'll call her up if somebody get a hold of her if something happens. There's a beautiful house right there that's abandoned, and that's something else. Y'all look in your area. If you're hearing this video, check your area out. There is abandoned houses everywhere in Alabama now. I mean, just like everybody's walked off or something, and they're beautiful houses. And probably could be bought for hardly nothing. They're everywhere. I've never seen it in my entire life but this year. Man, my wife was riding around the other day and everything in her car, and she was like, she said, have you been noticing all these houses empty everywhere? And I said, they're everywhere. Y'all just would flip out how many houses is empty here. And I said, I need to ask some people if it's like that in their areas or not. That's old barn and shit. I look at stuff like that. It's falling in. Right there, what I'm talking about spraying. Look how heavy, maybe y'all see it, look how heavy they're spraying. That's killing off all the wildflowers. It flows right in the creeks and everything. They're supposed to raise it when they spray it, but it don't matter if they do or not. Which is here in Alabama, I've watched them. They spray directly in the creeks and everything. They never turn them sprayers off. I've been behind them, just breathing that crap. And just the runoff, imagine the damage and everything. That's why all the animals is getting sick, and the cancer and everything else it does too. It's going directly, you can see how dangerous that stuff is. It's going directly in all of our water sources. Which that's a planned agenda, we'll talk about that another day. Just like that, there's a creek right down there, and you can see, being sprayed. But when something can kill grass, because you can't hardly kill grass without anything out there. You know right now if you try to kill it, grass will come back. Look how bad that stuff is. But if it's going to do anything, they just come through bush hog every once in a while. That's why all the wildflowers and the herbs and stuff, they're not going extinct, they're getting killed, is what happened to them from within. You can see as far as, I'm sure it's like that in y'all's area too. And that's something else in Alabama I'll show you too. People destroys this area. See the old couch, they throw everything out. It's weird, since I've lived here all my life, I'll go out of state and come back in and say, Alabama the beautiful. And you'll know right when you enter Alabama, it's Alabama, because it'll have the dirtiest size of roads of any state I've ever been to. I like to look at them wildflowers or anything like that odd too this late year. I'd like to show you some too if I can see anybody. They kill them all off. And last year they didn't spray as much with all that stuff going on. But this year they sprayed heavy. It's so peaceful too out here, right here riding. Here's another pretty view coming up. And it was cool right there in that shade. I hadn't told you, it's been hot today and humid, bad hot. It rained last night a good bit, then it got today and it was humid. Now I was born and raised in Alabama all my life, y'all. And I know if you ain't never been here, you're thinking, well, the Southerners is just used to that heat and stuff, they can handle it. I know I've told y'all some of this before, the ones that don't know this, it ain't that we're used to it, we just tolerate it. It's Cause I mean, all summer long, you remember Alabama in the South knows what I'm talking about. It's just gonna be hot and humid. Every once in a while you'll have a cooler streak, but it's really rare. It's the winter time. But I've never got used to it my whole life. I just go ahead and just go out there and just try to do the best I can do. Especially if it's out directly in the sun. We're fixing to go up a hill here and it's real pretty too. And last year I found some real pretty wildflowers and stuff. And I found the oddest flower I ever found in my entire life on this road up here to this hill, and I'll show you. Maybe it's still there. I don't have a clue what it is, but I picked some of the flowers off, and there's a pretty flower there. I'm gonna get it in a second too when I come back through. But anyway, getting back to that flower, is the oddest one me and my wife has ever seen. So I'm sure it was an extinct one or something. So I thought it had some seeds on it, and I tried to dry them out, but I couldn't get them to come up. I was gonna try to save it and grow them out, but it just didn't work out. I'm gonna go over at that same spot and see if they're there this year. And they smell so good too. And I took the pictures of them and saved them, and I've looked everywhere, and I can't figure out what them things is, so I don't know. To this day, and I know what a lot of flowers is, except for wildflowers and herbs, but I cannot figure out what them flowers is. And they smell about, if y'all know what a sweet pea smells like, how good they smell about like a sweet pea, only a little different. But the way it's looking, they're gonna be sprayed by poisons this year. Oh, there's the dog coming after me. Hey, boy. That's a pretty little dog. That's one thing about if you're riding forward, you gotta watch for stuff like that, because they'll come after you, and if you run over them, it'll hurt the dog and possibly hurt you too. I'll try my best to avoid them. I love dogs and animals. If I have to pull over and stop or whatever, I will. Even a squirrel, I will not. The only time I run over anything is something just runs directly in front of me. Just totally by accident. I love all kind of wildlife. Yeah, I can see them good Alabama roads right there and see all them potholes. It won't be long, we'll be at the top of this mountain. It feels good through here. It's about, I'd say in the 70s right now through here, how good it feels. Well, see, it got way up in the 90s, I think, today with the high humidity. It's pretty steep right here too where we're at. I'd pull over and show you, but I ain't got a good spot to show you. It's a good hill to climb right here. This is probably an area right here that you don't have no phone service, probably, so a bad area to break down in. Now let's go this way. Oh, right there. Let me see if there's any of them flowers. Right in here's where them flowers was last year. I don't see none. There was a bunch up on this hill too. I don't see a one. I was afraid of that. That's why I was trying my best to preserve them. Nope. It don't look to be sprayed in a while, but they probably, when they sprayed earlier this year, probably killed them. And I don't think they're perennials, which they may be, maybe next year. no wildflowers blooming. You can tell how green it is, how much it's rained this year. That rain, you can see that there's still rain in potholes right there. It's rained more this year. I know I've done told y'all it's rained here more this year than I've ever seen it. Everything is pretty and green. But this area is so snaky with rattlesnakes you would not believe. In my hometown and stuff, where I was born and raised, we didn't have no rattlesnakes. We had copperheads and water moccasins and stuff like that, but we had no rattlesnakes. And this place is ate up with rattlesnakes. But they'll usually warn you, they'll rattle or whatever, unless you, main thing, don't put your leg over a log and not know what's over there, because that's where they'll pop you. They'll be laying there and they'll nail you. I've been lucky, I've never been bit myself. I've been almost bit several times though. Oh yeah, I need to turn around right here. I know where a daylily farm is that I want to show y'all too, then we'll ride some more. I want to go see if the things are blooming. They sure are beautiful too. I bet they're still blooming. I love daylilies. This woman, she's got no telling how many registered daylilies. She's a nice lady. She's older. She's a good woman. But she started out with just a few daylilies years ago, and she started buying more and more and stuff. And she breeds them daylilies, and maybe they're blooming. It's a beautiful sight. We got a bunch of daylilies too. Next year I'm gonna show y'all, try to grow a bunch of them, show y'all a bunch of them. Which I've showed some before, a long time ago in some of my videos. There's so many different daylilies out there, and they're so just beautiful. She lives over here on Dirt Road, and she's got daylilies all the way from the road all the way around her house. I'm glad I thought about that. That's gonna be a pretty sight to see if y'all hanging in with me watching this. Show it every once in a while. But don't worry, I ain't gonna cut no donuts. I used to, but I ain't going to no more. I don't think I'm going to no more. I don't know, I might. I'm capable. But I do like going through mud and stuff. And it's not that good for your four-wheeler, but I still like going through it. Years ago, I used to race four-wheelers. I had a Honda TRX 250R. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? They know it's a racing two-stroke, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that thing would go. I've had 350 Banshee. I've had all kind of racing ones. I used to love doing that. I've done it for years and years too. Not too far from daylilies. Just riding right now, talking to y'all, it's like I went back years and years ago. It's so peaceful and stuff like it used to be. That tells you right there, I mean, if we should be left alone, which they're not going to leave us alone, I know that. But that tells you there's still happiness to be had, freedom and everything else. And look what I'm doing out here riding. Having a good time. There's a four-wheeler over there, tore up. Scoot over a little bit, buddy. That dog's having fun chasing me. Alright, we're close, and I'm hoping there's a pretty southern magnolia blooming. I love a southern magnolia, they're beautiful. They smell good too. It's a pretty rough road right here to ride on. This road's rub boarded. Looks like they're trying to pave it too. I'm thinking about how they're doing. It's got chert on it now, son. We don't have near as many dirt roads as we used to. I hope they don't pave them. You can see by the road how rub boarded. It's rough, especially the car. You wouldn't believe in a car how bad it rides in the car. I guess you can tell by how I'm bouncing around what I'm seeing. If anybody hears this, that way I know you're listening. Tell me if you cooked out or what you eat today and everything for Labor Day. I want to hear it. Because I'm getting hungry right now, just thinking about it. Or let me know what's your favorite thing to cook out on the grill.